it's either Matty Ice slander has gone too far or it's FTS. Like those are the only posts that they have. That's it.
Their best player is AJ Terrell, hands down.
It's Cordell Patterson.
Cordell's gone. Cordell's gone.
The Bear, Kai, I need your reaction on this. I would wait for the show, but I don't care enough. Devin Hester didn't make the Hall of Fame.
So stupid.
Hold on.
Guy shook.
He wasn't on. He was on the ballot and he didn't make the Hall of Fame.
Hold on. Sorry, I was really confused because I popped the stream and I didn't realize it loaded up, and I heard like the same thing and I heard it repeated, and I was like, are you guys okay? Like, you guys keep repeating the same thing. I was like, oh. Anyway, what about me, Devin Hester, Cordell Patterson?
No, Devin Hester didn't make the Hall of Fame, and the Bears fans are in uproar.
I don't think he should have.
He changed the game.
Okay, he was very influential on the game, don't get me wrong. As like, he showed you how valuable a kick returner can be, but I don't think you should make the Hall of Fame just because you were like a pretty good returner for a couple of years. Maybe I'm in the minority, but
okay, I would say he's the best returner, but yeah. I also agree that I didn't see like the uproar for him not making it.
I mean, there's only so much impact you can have as a kick returner unless you like return it every single time for a touchdown. But like,
I'm talking Tavon Austin at like West Virginia returns is what you need.
Tavon Austin.
And honestly, like honestly, you could.
I
you
still
could
can't
say,
believe he didn't make it. Honestly, I loved him on. Like, I wanted him to succeed so bad on the Rams.
If Devin Hester was a little bit better of a receiver, he probably makes it. Like if he was like a above average receiver, and then was still a great returner, he makes it.
Okay, Austin, why do you say it's ridiculous he didn't make it?
He is objectively the best at his thing in the history of football, and I think that deserves a spot. I think it's not the Hall of Value. It's like the Hall
that
of
is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And I do argue the same thing for basketball too, where it's like you got to talk about their influence of the game and not just their stats. So maybe I'll actually walk back on that.
And it's just like, it's even with his stats, he's objectively the best by like every conceivable metric.
I don't think you should be first ballot for that though. Like this was his first year on the ballot. It's not like baseball.
Oh, okay.
That's what I gathered.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm like, the fact that he's not first ballot to me isn't a big deal. Like there's very few first ballot NFL people.
I got the Pacers' new savior on my screen for this one.
I'm sure.
I hope for Pacers fans' sanity's sake that he actually pans out.
Even if he doesn't, that man was dedicated to Sacramento. So at least you have somebody who you know is going to stay in Indiana.
The Twitter after he got traded was literally too good.
King subreddit was amazing.
They love Sabonis. They love him after one game.
English 131, laughing the entire time. I think my professor thought I was crazy.
Pacers were like, yeah, we can adopt teams. Like, well, I'll cheer for the Kings because of Sabonis. You can cheer for the Pacers unless we're playing each other. Like,
dude, they play each other. They play each other this season.
Yeah, still one more time.
Yes,
it might be two, but like
McPherson,
the true MVP.
Oh, Rishi's in the waiting room. Let's go.
There it is.
I don't know how many of you follow me on Twitter, but you know my first tweet ever was about Evan McPherson.
It was. I don't think I retweeted that one, but
dude, it would have been better if Evan McPherson wasn't the walk-on at Florida, right? He wasn't the one kid that tried out like how the IUPUI basketball team is right now.
I don't think so.
Sorry to any IUPUI basketball fans.
Do we have fans
in the chat?
Okay, well, I'm trying to look for a background because everybody else has a background.
Oh, I was gonna start doing it every show, like something for the week. Throw on there.
Okay, well, mine's gonna be basic.
So way you don't see the trash can in the background because. Don't worry, no food goes in there. I would like to put that out there. It's
you don't like seeing my bare wall with my one abnormally long window?
It is a very big window.
It's a very long window. All right, here we go.
I'll keep it honest.
All right, here we go. And then we start the show once I put this on.
Is Rishi alive?
He's here. He's unmuted and all that. Okay, we're going with this. Super basic to start. But I'm going with just the Benson. He's in the
driving
car.
And
He's zooming.
He's zooming while he's zooming.
All right, before Rishi, before you go, before you talk, we're gonna open the show.
Before you talk, you need to unmute yourself too.
That's
that
also
way we actually
true.
Hear you.
That is also true. But everybody, welcome to Across the Board. Making sure the stream is still up. We are still up. All right, welcome to Across the Board, episode number 16.
Oh, where's the link?
Some good stuff today. I dropped it in the. You literally said all right after I dropped the link in the chat.
Wait, no, I didn't.
Keep the eyes on the road, by the way, Rishi.
Yeah.
Keep the eyes on the road.
He's parked. We see it. But we're going to be talking about some great stuff today. Super excited. Obviously, Super Bowl. Got to talk about some Super Bowl here. NBA trade. This was actually a really entertaining trade deadline. Lots of interesting trades. We're going to talk about some. Rishi's here. So UFC, MMA, and then European soccer. My outline wasn't up, so I was going off the dome. Did I miss anything?
I don't believe so. Unless we're also going to talk. I have college basketball, like the tournament favorites.
There we
go.
Like
we can actually cover a little bit more.
Yeah, my outline wasn't in my tabs. It was in a whole nother Google window.
I got it if you need it. Do we need to switch hosts mid show?
Honestly, guys, we're very casual, very cash type show. So we talk about our flaws. But I mean, let's get right into it. Let's first recap the Pro Bowl, guys. Who watched it?
I watched Mac Jones gritty. That was.
I was gonna say I wanted to say he took your entire flow, Alex, like word for word, bar for bar.
I'll argue that Alex's gritty was better than Mac's, but
hey man, I don't think, dude. The funniest is when they're walking through the tunnel. Did you hear the conversation? It was like Justin Herbert, Mahomes, and Mac Jones, and Mahomes goes, "I don't know how to gritty. I've tried like 8 times and I can't figure it out."
That was Mahomes. That was Mahomes who said he didn't know how to gritty.
Yes, and I wanted Jackson.
That's what I wanted so badly to see. I wanted to see Jackson teaching him in the locker room before the game.
I would like to say for the Pro Bowl recap, kind of a hand in cheek kind of thing here. I put Team A beat Team B for our recap. I didn't even look up the score because I didn't think it mattered.
Wasn't it 41-35 AFC?
I don't know.
Also, did they play two-hand touch?
Yes.
When I saw the highlights, I didn't know they did two-hand touch.
I'm okay
Darius
with that,
Slay's
well, I'm pretty sure
ran on Twitter was great though.
About the Pro Bowl?
Oh my gosh.
Can we brainstorm real quick how to make that better?
Make it two-hand touch. Make it fun.
Like make it 7-on-7. Don't eat.
Every play there should be an NFT that's generated that you can buy.
I'm thinking who said 7-on-7? I like that idea. Do
7-on-7.
Do like the puffy
do King of the Court.
Yeah.
Like King of the Court 7-on-7.
Oh yes. Make 3 teams for each and play like a round robin.
I think.
The ND connection letting us down.
Instead of 7-on-7, let's just go 5-on-5 all linemen.
Okay. I'm down because they never get love. Okay. They never get love. I'm
Quentin Nelson at the helm, throwing it up to a returning.
Or I did see something where somebody was like, they all have to play out of position.
Oh my gosh,
I like when the Diggs brothers went against each other, but
that was awesome. I did watch that part. I did want to see that.
So I think that'd be awesome.
Stefan Diggs wouldn't actually be a bad corner, minus the fact he was holding his brother the whole way.
Nah, he was just playing him tough. That's brotherly love.
He had a whole arm wrapped around him at one point.
He changed his diapers. Don't forget. He had to make sure he stayed.
This is more Pro Bowl discussion than I was expecting.
We're brainstorming how they can make it better. But honestly, I do enjoy those. Like, I don't really watch them, but I do like the dodgeball activities and stuff they do.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think
they should just make that the whole Pro Bowl.
I think the idea of trying to make it competitive and like seeing the best of the best go at each other is more lame than like just having it for fun.
That happened before. But go ahead, Alex.
Also to Austin, did you watch Kirk Cousins try the skills showdown? It was terrible.
No.
He missed every single throw.
Was there no check down option?
No, he literally is deep. Shucking it, just didn't hit one. Mac Jones did about the same, but Kirk Cousins is a veteran.
I'll let you guys know right now. I was gonna do a frat Stafford background, but I can't find a school appropriate one. But yeah, Joe Burr versus frat Stafford. People be forgetting about him. But yeah, Pro Bowl, they could do stuff different. Dodgeball was fun, out of position stuff. It is what it is. But let's get to the real game, the Puppy Bowl post game show, concussion
AKA
bowl,
the Andrew Whitworth Bowl.
Andrew
AKA...
Whitworth Bowl. Who's ready for it? I mean, I think we talked about who we had, but yeah,
Skyline Chili Showdown.
The Skyline Chili.
DJ is almost gonna
Joe Burr versus Frat Stafford. We actually cannot show Frat Stafford on the
TL.
I really looked like for school appropriate ones. This man was a demon back in Georgia. But anyway,
the man was known that he was going to be like the first overall pick since he was in high school. I'm sure he spent his time in college.
Pulled anybody he wanted. But Cincinnati versus LA, right? It's going to be in LA. I will say this though. There's like a thing going around that like the Rams actually don't have any LA fans. Like people in LA just don't care about them. Like there's more Niners fans in LA than there is LA fans in LA.
I thought that was just a Chargers thing, and like I thought it was like Chargers have no fans, but Rams have like they're fans, but they're not like diehard.
No, I just feel like everybody.
85% of Rams fans are just Lions fans who found a better team.
They're Stafford fans.
I'd say it's like 50-50 in LA because I feel like half the people that go to those games just do it to post on Instagram because everybody's influencers there. No shade, but
seeing how the cheapest like nosebleed was $4,000 for a ticket, you need to be an influencer.
I'm gonna take my shot on that one too, Kai.
Well, it's just like when you look at any other game, like even like New York, I feel like they don't do this as much. It'll be like just regular pans of like regular people, fans, and like like an icon or celebrity there. Anytime it's an LA game, they always highlight the 50 celebrities that are there or like the TikTokers. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like a whole, like
there probably won't be that many fans. There won't be that many celebrities because Antonio Brown and Kanye bought the suite out. Did you see that?
Did they really?
Well, they spent $2 million together and they bought the suite for some set of kids from some organization.
Oh, so they bought them for someone.
They bought them for the kids.
I thought you were saying they just like bought out these suites. Like, so no one be in here.
Yeah, they spent like $2 million because Antonio Brown, of course, leaked his bank statements again on Instagram for the fifth time.
Was it the actual details like the last time?
I don't think the details are on there, but I'm pretty sure he put the like receipt on there. Yes, the receipt is on there. $2.195 million. He did finally. He blurred out the invoice, but he did not blur out the company he bought it from or the terms.
It's like Drake putting the like $2 million on the Super Bowl, and he's just like spend money to make money, and that's his whole. Like that was his.
Kept it in the family.
Spend money to make money. Oh my goodness!
I mean, they have to lose now, right?
I'd hope so. The Drake curse, if it's ever real, now's the time.
I thought the Drake curse was broken though after Toronto won.
I put that on. There's just so much good.
No, I think Drake hedged his bets by hiring assassins to take out Golden State Warriors' best players.
The actual sniper meme, but it was real for KD and Clay.
Oh man, Drake and hot sauce. Am I right?
I assumed we'd have a bit shorter Super Bowl preview because we previewed it, but kind of quickly go over it this week.
We are.
All right, I'm actually gonna throw my score. I've come to my final number here. I think 35-32.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say.
I'm being honest. I'm feeling a blowout. Whatever way it goes, I think. I don't want
see
it
a blowout.
But I like everyone's like, oh, yeah, it's a close game. Rams might pull away late. Bengals might pull away late. Bengals come back when something like, nah, I think it's going to be like a blowout one way. Like everyone's leaning the same direction. I feel like just a team's going to get on a roll and it's going to be like the other team's trying to fight back and they can't. Or
I honestly think it'll be the Bengals. I feel like Matthew Stafford's going to have that Matthew Stafford moment and just
No, it's not the
True
Stafford.
Turn into the
Stafford
Detroit.
moment.
Turn
I'm
into the
about to
Detroit
say,
Lions.
It's the Detroit
the
Juju.
Lions. Juju.
When you say Matthew Stafford moment, you mean like a 90-yard touchdown to win the game against and retire the GOAT, right?
No, I mean
Like,
like
you know, when he
that
retired the GOAT?
Retire the
pass to
GOAT.
Jaquiski Tart that basically should have won the 49ers the game.
That was in the middle of the Oh
Yeah,
my
he put
goodness.
the reverse spin on it, so then he
Yeah.
dropped it.
He was perfectly in the middle of his receivers. It's on the receivers there.
Nah, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, that was Drake's elite sniper team too.
I think maybe
He was like, I'm gonna make this sweet post about betting on Odell in the Super Bowl or the.
Yeah, you're done.
What'd you just
You're
say?
done. You're done. You can't
The
say
Lucky
that word.
Charms cereal bowl of Super
Austin's
Flakes.
bank account just starts going down to zero.
The Jake from State Farm advertisement expo.
The
Dude.
Patrick Price Bowl.
We did spend a lot of time on this last week though, so let's just put our predictions in real quick, and then let's talk about awards.
Oh,
Alright.
recap of what everyone said.
Yeah.
I can give it to you really quick. Rishi actually never gave us one.
Oh yeah, Rishi.
Me and Austin were Rams. And you two were Bengals.
Oh, so Rishi will be the decider.
I got
know
bad
who he's
news
gonna
for you
pick.
guys.
I
I got
know
bad
who he's
news
gonna
for you
pick.
guys.
He's gotta go with his
So-
boy, and I get it.
I'm Matt Stafford's my favorite quarterback of all time. I will also be in Cincinnati watching this game with all Bengals fans. I got a lot of family in Cincinnati. You know, they're my second team. So for that reason, I'm not going to be making a prediction. I'm just going to be rooting for a good game.
Boo.
My
That's
prediction-
not allowed. That's not
Wow.
allowed.
That's a
My
terrible.
We
prediction
gave you
is it's
your
going to be
own.
a good game. My prediction is
No.
it's going to be a good game.
Unacceptable. We gave
Cop
you your
out,
own
cop
spotlight for the
I
UFC
booed
him.
card later.
Did you not
I
learn
booed
anything
him.
from Dr. Pierce, man? I'm doing systems thinking here. I'm changing the system.
This is a participation award type beat.
There-
Come on, man. This is-
Maybe if the listeners drop their predictions down in the chat, then we could break the tie.
I
All
know
right.
there's
Well,
one. I know there's one
Ugaslev
person
from Russia.
I was gonna say, what do you think Vladimir thinks?
I know there's one person in the chat who says they know nothing about sports, but they just got to say one of two teams. And that's
We
all they
have
to
four.
do.
We have. You know what? To the 4 people watching right now, I'm gonna figure out a way to see who's watching these streams, and I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna see who it is,
Do you think we can get Hasbullah in the chat?
bro. If we can get Hashbullah on the show, let's get Hashbullah on the show.
I
We
feel like we
aim
need
high.
a Twitter account. And we just got to start trolling. We just got to
all
start
I
trolling
know
players.
is that all of our viewers could 100% stomp all of us in CS:GO.
There it is. Rishi's pick is now the Bengals.
Oh,
Ryan
we got
Detling.
Rylan, Bengals, baby. Thanks, Rylan, for. Oh, we got 5 people now. Okay.
Well, the fifth one's me.
Oh, that's awkward.
I gotta bump it.
Get those numbers up.
I'm bumping the numbers.
I think Rishi DC'd, but I got him back in. Here.
I think he's going to the better camera.
Into the
Oh, he's going to the better
Chase
camera.
knows. Chase is the tech guy.
Okay, he's the techie guy there. Anyway, so we got Bengals. I feel like, I mean, that's our team. That's the team.
Really is.
That's like,
Led by Evan
McPherson.
Even though you're picking
Don't
against
you mean
shooter,
me, have
Evan
him on
shooter,
your
no
name.
Fearson?
Evan Shooter, Kick
That's true.
Fearson, Money Kick Fearson.
Money.
I don't know if you guys
Fearson.
watched that. It just feels the Titans game. Me and my friends were making jokes like every time he kicked a field goal, the announcer had like another pun name for him. And there was like 4 by the end of the broadcast. So he was like Shooter, Money Kick Fearson.
Off topic, but on that, I was watching the IUPUI Ohio State game. I probably already mentioned this, but there's somebody in Ohio State, on IUPUI, his last name's like Strapsley or something like that. Anyway, the announcer was like, "You gotta be a shooter with that name, Strapsley," and the other guy was like, "I don't get it," and he's just like, "Because you gotta strap." I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. Whoever that guy is, he needs to
Shout out to the Arizona men's basketball announcer too for not being able to keep up with the graphic and just laughing it off halfway through as he was trying to say their names.
Shout
I don't
out
know
to
if you
Kyle
saw that.
Pendergast, my boss. I just dropped the link in our Discord and told
There
everybody
it
to tune
is.
in. So we got 6 viewers now. Anyway, let's keep on topic though, so people know that we're professional and we follow an agenda on this show. We're mostly Bengals, 2 Rams, 1 participation award for a good game, I guess.
I'm predicting a good game.
Moderate.
How can you be anti-good game?
I'm anti.
Because you're anti having your own opinion.
That is my opinion.
Awards. Let's move on. MVP. Aaron Rodgers wins his 4th MVP. He's now 2nd all time, right behind Peyton Manning. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Cooper Kupp. I don't know if you guys seen them TikToks of Cooper Kupp. I can't really repeat them, but they're like hilarious. I can't say this though. This might be controversial, but I'll say it. I saw a tweet where it was like, "Lord, please forgive Cooper Kupp and what he's about to do to Eli Apple on Black History Month." Died. Thought it was hilarious. Defense Player of the Year, TJ Watt. I've heard some steamy takes on that one. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jamar. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burr.
I know it's a different layout, but to me it makes more sense to just have.
Out of all those awards, Defensive Player of the Year, Austin. We've been hearing about it pregame. Why are we not feeling TJ Watt here?
All right. So to put it bluntly, Aaron Donald was just as productive, but also played way more snaps. Fun fact. He is the only non-quarterback in the entirety of the NFL. Only non-quarterback. So wide receivers, cornerbacks, very valuable positions to generate a wins above replacement figure above 1. And he did it as a defensive tackle, which is historically one of the least valuable positions in football. He was available. And TJ Watt, although he did come close to breaking the sack record, had an unsustainable pressure to sack conversion rate. He had a lot of cleanup sacks that are just kind of like there, There's this really great Twitter thread by Sam Monson from Pro Football Focus about why they had Myles Garrett over TJ Watt for like their all-pro first team edge defender. I recommend go looking at that. It just shows that on a per snap basis, even like someone in his same position as TJ Watt, Max Crosby and Myles Garrett were both better pass rushers. TJ Watt just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And when you factor in the availability, I think the only answer was Aaron Donald. But, that's just me.
I've also heard this. Maybe it's been like a random tweet, but also real quick, Rishi, is that like a Zoom template background? I want to get that.
Hey, wait, what's my background?
I couldn't pay attention to what Austin was saying. You can't just throw it on in the middle.
Well, Kai said it wasn't appropriate, so I had to throw Harambe to make it appropriate.
Anyway, back to it.
Here I was giving my very analytically sound.
I do want to argue in the other way real quick before let's jump in front of you here, Kai. I think it's fair that he still won it because he played less games and still almost broke the sack record. So like if you're going off of that, like off that statement, I understand like the pressure stats like aren't like keepable, but you're also not basing every award off analytics and basing every award off like what he won't be able to do next year. It's for that year. Now, while I agree Aaron Donald is like far and above everyone, like in everything for defense, like he still was able to keep like almost break a sack record in what would have been less games.
I just think that like no matter which way you slice it, from efficiency and like total value added, it's just Aaron Donald. Like he was just a better pass rusher and he was more available. Like it's just the sacks. I do genuinely think that it's like the sacks and the fumbles forced. Or didn't Aaron Donald have more fumbles forced?
I'm not sure.
He had 4 fumbles forced while TJ Watt only had 1, but TJ Watt had an interception this year.
I mean, it's hard to get an interception at defensive tackle. Way harder, I'd say.
One thing I want to
ask. I could just pull up my PFF premium subscription and just show you guys.
We're not allowed to share those numbers.
But yeah, we're not.
Unfortunately,
I'm
not trying to get sued. Yeah.
We already got NBC coming at us.
Mostly, it's all just me. I think it's just my fault.
Yeah, they're just suing Austin. Austin, does Aaron Donald have kind of like the LeBron effect of where?
Yes, 100%. He has been the best.
You know where I'm going with this? Yeah. Like if it would just be the LeBron award if they gave, so they have to like give it to somebody else. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm also not
ever since his second year. Nobody should like. He's been the best defender every single year of his career since his second year in the NFL. It shouldn't be anybody else, but he's got that working against him.
I also like I think it's fine that he won it because he still had like a really good
Yeah,
year.
I'm not trying to say that TJ Watt was bad or anything.
Like you can't say he didn't deserve it at all. Like he earned like a nomination, which because Aaron Donald would probably win it most, if not every year. Like it shouldn't upset anyone that TJ Watt won it.
Yeah, no, it's not. He was really good. It's like shades of greatness, you know. You're just kind of haggling over half a standard deviation.
Sure. Anything else on awards? We move on to our draft preview.
Do any of you all who said Tom Brady deserved to win MVP? He did not.
He did. No. Oh, what? You're tweaking.
I take Brady over Rodgers, but
for this year,
he had more like basic counting stats. He led further than Rodgers and everything minus interceptions.
But Rodgers didn't play 2 games.
Yeah, that too.
And he had the number 1 team in the league.
I don't care about
They're
it.
the best team in the league.
They also got knocked out by the Niners.
Okay, but one.
Yeah.
Well, first off, you saw the value that he had to his team when he didn't play well in that Saints game and when he didn't play in the game.
He played in the Saints game.
No, when he didn't play well in the Saints game.
Yeah.
When he didn't play well in the Saints game, you saw, okay, when he plays bad, they lose bad. When he doesn't play at all, they're going to lose probably. So I think he was definitely the most valuable player for this season.
Hey, that's literally.
Okay,
I hate to be. Hey,
I think I have a hot take. Actually, I have a hot take. I think Mac Jones should have been the MVP because imagine.
I'm not gonna lie.
Imagine the Patriots.
First show back.
Imagine the Patriots went whatever, like 4 what would it be this year? 4-13.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That would be what it would be.
So if they went 4-13 this year, I think everyone would start talking about, was it really Tom Brady or was it Belichick? So really, I think Mac Jones saved potentially the legacy of the greatest coach of all time. Therefore, someone should have at least thrown him a vote.
Dude, what if the Packers didn't play without Aaron Rodgers all year? When that, like, what would happen to them?
Jordan Love makes them to 2 wins, maybe 3.
Yeah, no, you guys saw the Kansas City game. I mean, they got curb stomped by the Chiefs. So who's saying that they wouldn't have got curb stomped by like the Bears? Their defense was horrible too. So I mean,
I just think it's like another TJ Watt, Aaron Donald thing. It was like Rodgers or Brady was just more available. He was more efficient and he had higher value added.
I also said I had a bias against Rodgers, so I'm still biased now.
I'm a Bears fan. I still think he should have won it.
Yeah.
Also, in my opinion,
don't like the person.
Brady retired. Brady retired so he could win MVP again. Brady retired so he could win MVP again.
He's already said it's not off the table to return. Like we're gonna have this every year.
No, he's gonna. Yeah. It's going to be like, that meme of Carmelo Anthony when he was out of the NBA. He like got the ball on the sideline at that one game and he like goes up for the shot and then he throws it. That's going to be Tom Brady for the next 5 years with the NFL.
I just want to say about that Mac Jones take. I could have won one of those games that he won where he handed off the ball and threw it like 3 times.
I could have won the Buffalo game.
I genuinely think I could have won that game.
You could have called who to mark for the run schemes and stuff.
Give me a week.
I'll
figure it out.
A week?
Give me a week.
All right.
It's just like Valorant comms.
Execute.
All right. Draft preview. Any major updates there? I heard Kenny Pickett played pretty well in the Senior Bowl. We care about that.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He was like.
I thought he did.
It was Malik Willis that.
I thought Kenny Pickett went like 3 for 3 for like 80 something yards. No.
Yeah. Austin, did you not read what he did? He played 1 drive and threw a touchdown with like 90 yards
in the Senior Bowl. I thought during the drills all week he looked terrible.
Well, maybe during the drills. I saw during the Senior Bowl he went like it was like 3 for 3 or like 3 for 4.
I don't know.
Like
some of the outlets that I followed said that he was the most disappointing.
Pickett threw 6 for 6, 89 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 sack, and he had a perfect passer rating, and his yards per attempt were 14.8.
If he gets drafted, it's an absolute
Desmond
crime.
Ridder threw 4 for 6 for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't even see Malik Willis on here. Malik Willis, 2 for 4, 11 yards, a sack. Longest completion was 6 yards, and he had 4 carries for 54 yards.
Sorry, I was talking about the drills.
Malik Willis is going to be that quarterback that everyone's like, yeah, I could see someone taking a late shot on, and then probably have like a Deshaun Kaiser type career.
I mean, he's projected to go pretty high. The whole year he was projected to be like a top 3 quarterback. His projection is
ridiculous. His projection is ridiculous, in my opinion.
I will say this is quarterback. Honestly, this is like the role player draft for quarterbacks, and like you can't like this is gonna be a goated backup draft. I think.
Exactly.
Like you want
Desmond Ritter will be an elite backup quarterback.
He's gonna be an elite sign holder, bro. I'm telling you.
Who are we taking? Desmond Ritter or Taylor Heineke as your backup?
Riddler. He has all the intangibles. He can hold the sign. He's a senior.
I'm taking the Mike White of this draft. I'm taking Bailey Zappi out of Western Kentucky. That dude is a baller. A baller.
No, bro, Carson Strong. If I were to pick anybody to be like a late round stud, it would be him.
My other boss, Michael, commented real quick.
He's literally Mike White 2.0. He's coming from the same college. He played behind Mike White. This man is ready.
Mike White slander. Anyway, my other boss commented said the thing about the Melo meme is Melo did come back. So I don't think Brady comes back though, honestly. Oh yes. Okay, are we done with NFL?
Yes.
I'd say so.
Yes. Okay, let's do UFC. I completely forgot about Austin.
Let's make sure we can get Austin in here for this.
Yes. UFC, Austin Rishi, take it away.
Okay. You want to lead off?
Did you have any initial thoughts on how you want to go about
I just want to say it's rare that we get
what's the numbers between this one real quick?
What do you mean the numbers?
271.
271, okay.
Yeah, 271. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker is the main card.
Wait, is this in Australia? It's in Houston, Texas. Or wait, are they from New Zealand?
Izzy's from Auckland, yeah.
One's from New Zealand, one's from Australia, and then Tai Tuivasa in the co-main is also Australian. He might be New Zealand. He's a New Zealander actually. But they've got a bunch of like Oceania guys on this card.
I feel like this should have been in like Cindy or something. Anyway, keep going though.
Yeah, so it's rare that you get to see one of objectively the best fighters in the world fight. Izzy is by far the best middleweight. There's really no competition. I would say the only people that are better than him pound for pound in the UFC are probably Usman and Ngannou. I don't think Rishi would disagree with me on that. But Robert Whittaker is also very good.
He is good.
So it's just like
downplaying. I think we're downplaying how good of an opponent he's got here. So if you think about a weight class division, like usually the way it fluctuates is you've got your champion and then a few contenders come up, they fight him. If they beat him, then the next wave of contenders comes up. And in the middleweight division, really it's clear that Adesanya and Whittaker are the number 1 and 2 guys, and no one else is really on their level. I mean, Whittaker lost to Adesanya, I think about 2 years ago. He got KO'd, but ever since then, he's been dominating everyone else in the top 10. So this is the matchup at middleweight. So
yeah.
And the other thing is these are striking guys. Whittaker has alluded to wanting to grapple some, and Adesanya has like talked about working on his ground game. But if you're talking about the best strikers in the UFC, these are 2 of the best strikers in the UFC.
Yeah, I was like, just in terms of like, I would say Izzy is the most fun fighter to watch, at least from like a technical perspective, because you never know what he's gonna throw out. He's the most creative striker.
I want to ask, he's the super lengthy dude who's just like swinging limbs.
Dude, he's got an 80-inch wingspan. He's got an 80.
He's like John Jones. He's like John Jones's wingspan at middleweight, which is nuts.
Like anime. He's just like me.
His name is the Last Style Bender for all you you Gen Z kids.
Yeah.
Hey, first off, Last Airbender slaps.
It's amazing. No, it's my favorite television show.
All right. I have my limited knowledge of UFC to come in. Israel Adesanya is gonna win because Whittaker asked Adesanya in the press conference about Joe Rogan. And you have to go watch Adesanya's. I can't say it because it's bad, but just know that I'm pretty sure he's going to knock him out with some Joe Rogan spite inside of him.
Was this in like those interviews where it's like they all sit in like a row?
Yeah.
And then
the pre-match card interviews.
It was great.
I can't lie. The UFC is so smart with that. I love the banter.
They play into it.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, even if you're not a UFC fan, even if you don't like sports, even if you don't like watching TV, even if you don't like having fun, if you're not doing anything this Saturday, like just watch this card. It's gonna be
watch two dudes beat each other up.
And then in the co-main is also mad fun because for my
Derek
money,
Lewis,
Derek, my balls was hot Lewis will be stepping into the octagon.
Derek, my stomach hurts, so I have to take a poop. Lewis.
This guy's huge.
I just say for
Holy.
any fight that like is brought up, the only thing I think of is that boxing match where the dude like knocks hands with his like coach and then turns and the bell rings, the guy just walks out. Like that's the only thing I think of when I think of any fight now.
Is Derek Lewis the same guy that knocked out Travis Brown and then went to the had the energy at the end? He was like, "Where is Ronda
Rousey
at?"
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough. Oh man.
I want to shout out a couple more fights on this card to watch because it goes deep. I mean, Cannonier Brunson is essentially a number one contenders match. That's essentially the winner of that fights Izzy for the title next, or Whitaker if he wins. But even if you go to the prelims, which these I believe are free on either ESPN or ESPN.
They're free
Plus.
on ESPN, yeah.
So yeah,
ESPN Plus.
Tyler
That's
Phillips
what they're partnered with.
Marcelo Rojo. That's like a bunch of 135 guys going at each other, and that Kyler Phillips he's an awesome striker. Carlos Olberg and Fabio Charant. Carlos Olberg is one of Adesanya's teammates. He's another striking guy, kickboxing guy. And then finally, there is a guy fighting on this card named Blood Diamond. So
where is he at?
Exactly. He'll be at
These are the early prelims.
He's like the second fight.
Oh my gosh, he looks scary. Wow.
With the name Blood Diamond, I would think so.
Oh, he's 3-0.
From Zimbabwe.
His UFC debut.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I'm all in. I'm all in on Blood Diamond.
This guy's terrifying. This guy's terrifying.
I'm going to Vegas. I'm texting someone to put some money on that guy for me in Vegas.
All right. Well, that does conclude my time. I have to go do my job.
Dude has to work. Come on.
I know it's kind of lame, but
his actual name is not Blood Diamond.
All right. Well,
that ruins my fun.
Austin, it was great having you on the show.
Paying you enough?
All right.
Not yet.
No.
This dude would break me in half with one kick. I understand most of these guys would, but this dude would break me in half with a single kick.
Chase, I'm trying to say goodbye here.
Hey,
I'm talking about my man Blood Diamond over here.
I'm late to the party.
Austin, it was great seeing you. Hopefully you're on next week.
I will be able to have it head on next week, so I will see you guys next week.
Awesome.
See ya.
All right, see you, Austin. All right, on to college basketball. Unless Rishi had anything else to add for UFC.
Just watch it.
My input only spans on my knowledge of UFC 3 Undisputed on the Xbox 360.
Go to game.
No, those games are fire.
Chuck Liddell versus Brock Lesnar was always the goated match to do.
If you didn't use Rampage Jackson, there's a problem.
Mine is only based on how many tattoos they have and how scary they look in the picture.
Shout out Forrest Griffin and the forest he has of chest hair.
That's not true. Well, yeah, Chase, true. But I was thinking about Cody Garbrandt, who has all those tattoos, and then he just fell off the face of the earth or something. I don't even know if he wants that. Anyway, college basketball. We have some conference tournament previews coming up right now. In the ACC, Duke is the favorite. They just played North Carolina this past week. I don't know if they destroyed them.
That's a good word for it. That's a good word for it.
Because I turned it off when UNC was down by 11 going to the half, and then Duke scored 10 straight points. I was like, all right, it's over. So I turned it off.
Yeah, that's what we call a massacre.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to play anyone in the AFC or ACC.
I know what you meant. Big Ten, Purdue is the favorite.
After just losing to Michigan.
No,
betting odds, they are favorite.
Yeah.
That's what this is off of.
You're a bozo if you're putting money on Purdue right now. I'm saying it out loud.
Who are you putting money on for the Big Ten championship?
I'm not doing it.
I'm not
Illinois.
putting any money on Big Ten because it's such a whoever comes and plays the best. Like if I watched every team practice, I would bet, because it's always like a rando that just shows up out of nowhere who can just get on a heater. Honestly, in my opinion, it'd probably be Wisconsin.
That's what I was gonna say. Give him the ball and just let him do his thing.
Yeah.
I just think Purdue's lost so many of these games now where you're like, oh yeah, they should have an issue. Like they lost to Michigan.
Michigan just beat Illinois too. Like it's so confusing. They beat good teams.
They're like the most cold and hot streak team.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Never mind. I was looking at the wrong Michigan game. Sorry.
I was gonna say they just beat them.
Golly, they got destroyed.
Exactly.
By Michigan, 82-58. Oh my goodness. Anyway, okay. Next favorite, Big 12. Alex won't like this one. Kansas, but I don't know who else you can really favor in
Baylor. I think Baylor's better than Kansas in my opinion.
Interesting.
Definitely.
Okay.
I would say Baylor over Kansas. I just went with the top for each conference and like threw it in.
Baylor
like I also want to throw out Texas Tech. Like they've been competitive in most, if not every game against like
they've been pretty competitive.
So
and that stadium is electric. They pack that place full
every time.
Just know wherever they play, they're gonna pack it.
SEC, Auburn, obviously
by 1,000. I'd like to say
major favorite.
1,000.
Frauds.
They lost to the Must Bus. All right, Arkansas is a good team. They've always had good players.
They may not win the conference tournament though. The SEC's got teams that can they've got a lot of teams that can play. So
off the top of my head, Bama.
Yeah, Bama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas. You can always throw some of those lower end schools in there, and they can always put up a fight whenever you play them. No, don't.
No.
Vandy, Georgia, and South Carolina just deserve to play each other every time.
My boss Michael said all my money's on IU, best team hands down. I think he has bias because he's from IU.
I think he needs to look at their record.
I know we're about to. We usually rip them apart on this show.
I last week put my faith in IU and had it utterly stomped into oblivion. So I'm sorry, IU fans. You guys have lost it all for me.
Listen, IU fans are sometimes some of the more delusional college basketball fans, but I will admit it's probably easier for a team like that to win. Like if you're playing in tournaments, you don't know who you're going to play next. So like you can't necessarily game plan a few days in ahead. It is nice to sort of know, okay, we're playing through Trace Jackson Davis like this whole game. So
yeah, but every team is going to game plan to shut down Trace Jackson Davis when they look at it on paper.
Like every team's going to paper.
No.
Every team's going to go, all right, I don't care who you are, what you do. If you have to foul out, just like don't let go of him. Like hold him by the waistband in his shorts if you have to. I mean,
yeah. Real quick too, Pac-12 favorites of Arizona, and then does
that's terrible too.
Does Big East have a favorite? I see a score in here. I assume it's Villanova, but
yeah, Villanova. I put it in there because it's interesting. Nova is favored by 110, but Providence is right behind him at 106.
I didn't see that.
They're saying like it's up in the air.
I didn't see the little dashes there. I thought that was a score. I was like, what? But yeah.
Yeah, 110, 106 in a Big East game. No, that ain't happening.
Oh, big storylines though. Auburn did lose. You mentioned it. They lost to Arkansas 76, and then there's it's already what?
Who would you have winning the Pac-12 then, Alex? If it's not Arizona,
UCLA. They can shoot their way into a game ridiculously.
They've also shot themselves out of multiple though.
Yeah, but the thing is there's a whole different level of Johnny Juzang when he goes to play in tournament. Like we saw it last year when he came in the NCAA tournament. He did not care. And UCLA's game plan was, okay, if we can't get it down low, where's Johnny Juzang sitting in the corner to shoot the three?
Is he still considered like an NBA prospect this year?
Yes, he'll be late lottery.
He'll definitely be on a summer league team if he goes into the draft.
I think he will get drafted. I'd say his like peak is probably late lottery. Like a team takes a swing at him, knowing the talent he has for scoring. Kind of like an Anthony Simons, how he was like taken with like we know he can score. Can he get?
Has he panned out at all?
Anthony Simons?
Yeah.
He just carried the G League Blazers past the Lakers.
Oh, G League.
Anthony Simons is going to be
like he took their G League team in an NBA game against the Lakers.
Oh,
pretty much.
Okay.
Because they were all out and everyone got traded who was halfway decent on that team and they beat the Lakers.
Once Dame gets traded, he's going to be like their lead scorer.
Dame's not leaving. They just said they have $60 million in cap and they're building the team around him.
Yeah, with who? Like
That's what I'm
Davis
saying.
Bertans of the free agency world. Like
everybody was under contract.
It was. I saw on Twitter it was like Dame when he's grinded next season with his additions of Robert Covington and like I forgot who the other guy was. Something else. Some like Steven Adams, Robert Covington.
Never
and
ran
Adams.
from the grind.
All right. Before we get into the NBA though, let's just finish up basketball. Are Zags? The rankings came out. Zags are number one.
They most likely will be.
Most likely will be number one. Okay.
Kentucky better move up, and we deserve to be like 2 at this point. I don't even care what people keep telling me.
Over Arizona?
We have who is considered to be the Naismith winner of the year already, and I'm sorry, no one is.
So did Iowa, and no one trusted him.
Where is Luka Garza?
When have you seen someone average 20
Pistons.
rebounds a game?
Oh,
he's the future of the league. LeBron's not going to be in the league forever.
But then Bronny's coming. All right. Are we done with college basketball? Move on to NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Presti about to sell the farm for LeBron because that tweet from Kyle Kuzma was hilarious.
All right. So we finally had a really good trade deadline. I think this is the best trade deadline in the past couple of years. I'd say there's a lot of moves here. How do we want to do this? Well, I guess we'll just go Harden and Simmons moved. Simmons is now on the Brooklyn Nets and reported he's ready to go. He wants to play. Harden and Embiid will be such an interesting duo to watch. Montrez Harrell goes to Charlotte. Where was he on before?
Wizards? He was on the Wizards. I say this is important because Charlotte finally has like a big man who will actually go to rebound for them.
They do.
Like you don't think of Trez as like the main rebounder for a team, and I don't know if you like that he's like your main focus for it, but he's an athlete too. So lobs to him, like including Bridges from LaMelo, are gonna.
Oh yeah,
I think Charlotte made a really good move for not all that much, and I think it's really important.
I really like that addition. That's just I feel like the young team just finally gets like another veteran presence, and all it's gonna do is help them. Derek White, I love this move. I love Derek White, and I feel like the Celtics did give up. Not really, but like I think it was fair. I think looking at it, like you're like, oh, they give that much, but I think people don't realize how good Derek White is. I think that's a really good addition to that team.
Yeah, I was wondering what San Antonio was going to do because they hadn't really made a major move in a few years, and they had these young guards that obviously have some trade value throughout the league. Obviously, DeJounte Murray just became an all-star, and then Derek White, and who else am I even forgetting? Like Lonnie Walker is like still someone that I think people would maybe not a second-round pick, I guess, but he'd hold some weight in trades, and so I thought this was an interesting move because Josh Richardson and Romeo Langford aren't making the difference for the Spurs team, so it's almost like they
maybe Romeo Langford
for a first-round pick.
Maybe Romeo Langford if you give him some more time, you know.
How much time is he gonna get?
I don't think he got.
Everyone keeps saying we're gonna give him more time.
Well, he again, yeah, like Chase.
And he hasn't gotten any minutes.
Exactly, he doesn't get any minutes on Boston.
You're not playing behind, or you're not playing in front of Tatum or Brown.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they also like I had to look it up because it's blanking on his name. Devin Vassell, who they have, he's like the Spurs still have him. They also have Josh Primo, which that pick is looking worse throughout the year.
Is he not playing well, or
no?
Well, he's also
who
he was drafted
in the draft. It's because of who he was drafted in front of, and like who's still on the board, like when the Spurs took him.
Can you give me like a top 3 names or something, or like really quick? I can look if that.
I mean, he was taking 12th, but off the top of my name, I can look up the draft real quick. But they also have Kelton Johnson, who plays at the 4.
I love Kelton Johnson,
and he's a shooting guard, like body. Like he's playing at the 4 for
6'6", 220, playing the 4 in the NBA. That's nuts.
But they still have like all these young guards, so I feel like they just got another one who can go. Also, off the top here, Primo is taken, and then Pacers took Duarte. Okay. Warriors took Moody, who's looked good so far for like the minutes he's gotten. Kispert went, who's been okay. Sengun from like went right after him. Isaiah Jackson went. Like all these people.
I don't know if it's. I mean, I think when you look at the Spurs, they're not going to be doing anything for a couple of years. Why not just take a swing on a mid-lottery youngest player in the draft and see what happens? I don't think that's a bad pick still.
Well, and here's the thing: they traded for the Celtics first round pick, correct?
It's protected.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know what the
that's another
protection.
story.
I don't know what the protection is. I'm assuming it's just lottery or something, because they did give up Derek White, but they did get a protected pick with it.
Yep.
Interesting.
They also got Goran Dragic.
He's getting bought
That's
out
also-
though.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
that's
really?
already reported. Yeah, he's getting bought out.
Who's he getting bought out by?
Well, he's getting bought out by
That's yet to find.
I've
where he
I've
goes.
seen him connected to the Lakers.
Ugh.
Yeah, well, everybody's connected to the Lakers, so. But I'd have to look up the tweet again. But it was like a couple contenders. I think Lakers, maybe Celtics were on there.
Celtics wouldn't be honestly a bad one in my opinion, just because it gives them a ball handler. That's not Tatum or Brown. Like that's why the Derek White one's so good, because he can handle at least a little, but he's also going to be able to hit a three like when he's needed, when they get blitzed.
Yeah, and if you're Boston too, I mean, it's not bad because you already know Goran can come off. Like he was fine coming off the bench, and that gives you two solid, basically like two starter quality guards. So I don't think that'd be a bad pickup at all. But real quick, let's just get through the rest of these. Then we had that 4-team trade. Pistons get Bagley. I will say this, all right? Say what you want about Marvin Bagley, but for what the Pistons gave up to get a player like him, just to see if a change of scenery can be, I thought that was a good trade for them.
No,
Bucks.
Jackson's been legit. Like I think Josh Jackson has been legit. Like he can play real NBA minutes like on the wing for a team. So like if Sacramento is trying to build around Fox and Sabonis, I don't think that's a bad pickup at all, especially if they weren't playing Bagley anyways.
Oh no, I'm not saying it was a bad. I don't think it was a bad for anything. I thought it was just a really good trade.
Everyone got something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Kings
exactly.
got DiVincenzo, who like fills that Tyrese Halliburton spot.
Bucks get Ibaka,
who is like a solid. He's obviously it's not the Ibaka of the Raptors,
right? But he's still a solid player.
But if like something happens to Portis or Brook Lopez, like you have Ibaka, like you have someone there.
Yeah. Pacers finally do something, trading Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you guys saw that Woj tweet, but he put two Jeremy Lambs. Jeremy Lamb and
Justin Holiday and Karis LeVert.
Justin Holiday. Well, not in this trade though.
Not in this trade.
And Torrey Craig.
Torrey Craig
too.
I was trying to do one trade at a time, but yes, those players too.
Just knock out the Pacers one go. One go.
All right, well, Kings, they get Tristan Thompson, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield. Then they traded Karis. I don't know what they got for Karis. Picks. And then they traded Torrey Craig for Jalen Smith straight up, right? Maybe a second round.
Second round on both.
Okay.
Cash consideration for Phoenix and the second rounder for Indy.
Yeah.
I honestly, the only one I didn't like, I felt like they could get more for LeVert, but I guess with what he's been able to actually do, that's probably the best that they were gonna get.
I'm surprised is he like on an expiring deal? Like did they feel like they had to pay him next year? Or?
No, I don't think so.
Why? Well, I guess he is. I thought LeVert was young, but I feel like he's 28.
He also just wasn't fitting in, like with them.
Yeah, I forget. Karis LeVert's 27 years old. I thought he was a lot younger.
Well, he was 4 or 5 years at Michigan.
I think the problem was they not needed to, but they were choosing to go in a direction where they were getting younger and just changing some scenery. And you probably either trade Sabonis or Turner. Malcolm's locked up because he just signed a new extension. And so if you think of the next highest guy in terms of value, it's Karis. And so you've kind of got Karis and one of your bigs that you're trading. And so I think he was just kind of a casualty of Malcolm being locked up. Otherwise, he was probably going to be in trade calls too.
Yeah.
He's on 2-year, 17.5 for this season. And then next year they pay him 18.7.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's really not that bad of a contract.
What do we rate Kevin Pritchard's moves? What do we rate like just their overall trade deadline, I guess?
I give it an A-.
I thought they did really
give it
well.
I
like it.
I would say I think I really like the moves they made.
I think they are going to be able to at least like compete. They're not going to like compete for playoff or anything, but I'd say they're in a much better spot than they were pre-deadline.
Yeah.
Like the Warren contract, I think runs out after this year. That Rubio contract runs out and you can clean house. Just be like, let's get all this young guys. Let's see who sticks, what sticks.
Does Buddy stay?
No, I don't really see it fitting in too well.
They were going to try to trade him, just couldn't flip him. So
really? Wow.
Yeah, there were reports that he was.
Yeah, I forgot. They originally reported they wanted him, and then I think the next morning they reported they're listening to trade offers on him.
But then they decided we'll keep him for now, and then I'm assuming unless he becomes Indy faithful or something like that, you look for what you can get. If not, you let his contract run out because I think there's 2 years left on it.
Oh, there's 2 years left on it. Interesting.
I don't think he's an expiring because he just signed that Sacktown extension. And
then, pretty,
he's actually
big
not at a
terrible.
Too. He's not at a terrible contract because I think
he fills that Sabonis one. Yeah.
Oh,
They have 3 years.
Bonus one.
They have 3 years. He is 23 million, 21 and 19. So it actually goes down. It was front loaded.
Gotcha. All right. Also want to mention CJ McCollum to the Pelicans. Portland has freed up 60 mil in cap room. They're planning to build around Dame this next offseason and chase down some free agent targets. Also, a surprise, Kristaps moves to Washington.
That was so weird to me. That was so
Luka
weird.
Doesn't like him.
I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie, Davis Bertans.
Dinwiddie's gonna wave him off, and it's gonna be hilarious. Dinwiddie is going to take a final shot over Luka, and it's gonna be very funny.
I thought it was a perfectly fine move. No one was looking at the Mavericks this year oh yeah, they could win the title.
Well, has Kristaps even played that well?
I don't know his numbers or anything, but he wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad, but he wasn't he's just
I also saw something from StatMuse that was their winning percentage with Luka and Porzingis was 690, but the winning percentage with just Luka was 688. So they're the exact same with or without Porzingis. So if you're paying someone $30 million and there's no impact.
Interesting. We do have to break down probably the biggest trade of the day. James Harden. So Brooklyn sent James Harden, Paul Millsap to Philly. Brooklyn got Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, a 2022 first round unprotected, and a 2027 first round protected. Let's start with on the Philly end. So now you have a core of Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, James Harden. You get rid of the distraction of Ben Simmons, but I think you lose. I think losing Seth was big, but you still
Seth
have Tyrese.
Kind of a punch.
You still have Tyrese, and I think that was their reasoning. It's we can get rid of Ben, we get James Harden, and you just hope Tyrese can just keep taking steps forward.
And the Philly fan base would riot if they got rid of Maxey.
Exactly.
Philly loves Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have a chance to get
backlash was bad.
Oh my goodness,
Halliburton backlash.
Sac fans were just devastated. They were devastated. I don't even know if they were mad at this point. A lot of them were. I just saw them. They were just devastated. They were confused.
I saw a tweet that someone took a NBA league pass just as they could say bye to Tyrese Halliburton because they never got the official goodbye.
We had Dallas Turner chat earlier. He said Mavs, Bucks, Heat are the buyout contenders for Dragic. I'd actually see a Dragic going back to Miami.
Why would they need him though?
I don't think you mess with what you got there, honestly.
Yeah,
Miami wasn't mentioned in any of the initial reports either.
I feel like I remember seeing Boston, but he may have just. I mean, they may have just changed. Who knows? But anyway,
they just got rid of Schroeder, so.
But they picked up Derek White.
Poor Dennis.
Getting rid of Schroeder was the best thing that they could have done. Was getting rid of him.
Where does that guy go from here? Honestly, I think
he's going to go to some bad team that needs a guard, and he's going to take 20 shots a game and get
average
mediocre
25
stats, and no one's going to pay him again. I feel like that's it.
Yeah, but anyway, back to Philly. Yeah, gut punch losing Seth, but I think you can't turn down. I mean, also, I don't know. You're getting another shooting guard back. I guess shooting guard / point guard, and so it is what it is. Andre, he'll get 20 rebounds for you. So
not doing anything else. Maybe set some screens.
He won't do anything else, but he'll get 20 boards. Yeah. I don't know.
This trade is. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't want to really comment on the Ben Simmons part of it because I'm tired of talking about him, and I think if you're gonna not fake a mental health one, but if you're just ready to go as soon as you get traded because you can't deal with fans, I'm not buying in fully. That's the nice way to put it. But he
thinks Philly fans are mean. Brooklyn fans aren't much nicer.
Philly's way worse, I'd say.
Well, Philly is worse, but I'm saying Brooklyn fans aren't much nicer.
Yeah. But I would I'd say both teams win here. It's addition by subtraction. Like, you get rid of your biggest off the court stuff in hopes that it works on the court. The only thing with Philly is Tyrese Maxey's been really comfortable with the ball like on him for games. So now with Harden, is Maxey going to be okay? Because we know Harden's not going to want to not handle. Yeah. And for the Nets, I think it matters if KD's healthy. They're amazing. And if KD's not healthy, they're going to be what we've seen.
Is Kyrie still a part-time player? Are we still doing that whole dance?
Well, and so that's like one of the reasons everyone's freaking out about the Nets is because they're losing all these games. I mean, they should want to be one of the bottom 10 4 straight. Seeds. They want to be one of the bottom 4 seeds. I mean, a road game is an advantage because you have one of the best players in the NBA playing. A home game, you don't have it.
I didn't even think about that.
Which it could change too. Like the New York rules could change.
But I think they'll change them right before the playoffs just for him.
I'm not saying just for them because it's a city ordinance why he can't play. It's not NBA.
It's a city thing.
It was the same reason like with the Wiggins thing was a big deal because he wouldn't have been able to play at Warriors games. All-star starter Andrew Wiggins.
Thank you.
I wanted to say about this trade. I mean, it's really crazy just how many layers there are to this trade in just that. First of all, James Harden being like, well, not James Harden. The report was James Harden would like to ask for a trade, but doesn't want to formally request the trade out of public fear of backlash. Like, dude, you're literally asking for a trade right now when you're saying it's like, if I was going to ask for a trade. So first of all, that was crazy to me. Second of all, just the fact that people were calling like Daryl Morey crazy through the whole thing. And like, I'm not even saying this is anything as a comment on Daryl Morey, but just the fact that like kind of everyone was calling him crazy for not just trading Ben Simmons at some point.
For what he held
out, and he got his guy.
He got his guy, and I think the worst thing he gave up, worst person he gave was Seth Curry. That is like, and even then, I think he did a phenomenal job because everybody thought he was crazy that he wanted 2 first-rounders and a superstar, and he got it. So I'll never doubt him again.
Saying.
James Harden got Clint Capella paid. Like, if Joel Embiid's going to set a screen, which Joel Embiid on Twitter, by the way,
I love it.
That picture he posted was hilarious. Like, if he sets screens, like rolls hard, and that pick and roll duo is scary. I'm pretty sure Austin said it yesterday. The only thing I can think of that can even contend with it would be like a Chris Middleton or Drew Holiday, probably Drew Holiday and a Middleton, like those two having to switch or something.
No, dude, it's like Jamal Murray and Jokic on steroids.
I'm saying to be able to contend with their pick and roll of Embiid.
Oh, on defense. Yeah.
Like, there's no one who can really do it except Giannis for Embiid, I'd say, because Embiid is just that like powerful.
Yeah. And another thing that we're not even mentioning about this is like James Harden is like, all right, I'm out of Houston. And then Daryl Morey leaves their front office, goes to Philadelphia. The next season trades back for him. Like that's, I don't know. That seems crazy to me. And then, I don't know. Oh, there was one more thing. Doc Rivers shipped out his son-in-law to a conference rival, which is kind of funny.
Who's the son-in-law again?
Seth Curry.
Oh, Seth. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
I think that was more cap reasons. If you're Philly, you want Seth Curry, but like if you're the Nets, you have to fill that Harden role, which you don't have it on your team, so you have to take Curry.
Yeah,
they did keep Patty Mills though. There were rumors that Patty Mills might have to be included in the trade, so I think keeping him is big.
So was he not? Yeah. I didn't know if it was official because I saw some where he went and some where he didn't.
No, so yeah, they traded Paul Millsap, not Patty Mills. Okay. So now for those home games where you don't have Kyrie, it's like you've got ball handlers.
Exactly.
I also want to say, I don't know. I was trying to look it up. Joe Harris may need second ankle surgery, so it's not. But if you have Seth Curry in one corner and Joe Harris in the other, with whatever your other 3 people are doing, like that's insane.
Gonna get rained.
Patty Mills chilling up there, KD and Kyrie pick and roll. Like, think of that shooting lineup. I know it makes no sense size-wise, but a Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Patty Mills, KD, Kyrie lineup would be insane.
You want to talk about something that doesn't make sense size-wise? Whoever this GM is for the Magic that keeps drafting these lanky dudes and getting them, this dude just traded for Bol Bol. What does he want? Like an all 7-foot lineup? Like, I don't understand what he's going for.
They're just trying to see what sticks. I think they're doing what the Pacers doing. Let's just see what. Let's get all the young guys and just see what sticks.
I guarantee you their GM played like 2K15 and is just trying to figure out a demigod build. I genuinely, because I feel like at this point it's not a meme anymore, because like the first 3 players you're like, okay, sure, but now he just keeps going. So
okay, guys, I'm gonna come out with some revolutionary ideas. Maybe if they can't get the ball, you can't turn it over.
Just hold them up like this and then just toss it. Just toss. You don't even need to dribble anymore.
It's like that Nuggets lineup they rolled out in the bubble, where their smallest player is like 6'10". The Magic are trying to replicate it.
Golly. The Magic are just like an AAU team that are recruiting the most athletic guys. It's like, oh, you play football? Like, you should come play for it.
Well, transitioning into All-Star, unless we had anything else for trade, I was going to read off the names. Everybody's cool with that.
But for their teams, right? Not the All-Stars, but the All-Star teams.
Well, now we have the teams. Team LeBron, Giannis, Steph, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Jokic. Reserves are going to be Luka, Darius Garland, Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, Fred VanVleet, and James Harden. Team Durant.
Score.
Yeah, Team Durant is Kevin Durant. Oh wait, no, Kevin Durant's not playing. I'm looking at this. He is hurt. Joel Embiid. It's Joel Embiid, John Morant, Jason Tatum, Andrew Wiggins, Trae Young. Backups being Devin Booker, Kat, Zach LaVine, DeJounte Murray, Chris Middleton, LaMelo Ball, and Rudy Gobert. I'm sorry, but Team LeBron should wipe the floor with Team Durant, in my opinion.
Hey, Durant needed size. He got
I guess so. LeBron, Giannis, Steph, Jokic. You can stop right there, because I'm sorry, but that combo of who John Morant, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid are your top. Those are your guys. Compared to those guys, no. But it's the All-Star game, so who knows? Doesn't really matter.
I mean, fun fact: this is the second straight year of the Giannis, Steph, LeBron like combo. So
is it really?
Yeah, wow. It is. It's it's like back-to-back years. So maybe they have that chemistry from last year too. You know, if we're really
a future super team.
That was a legitimate conversation on Twitter last year. That was a legitimate conversation on Twitter, because I'm pretty sure it was before Giannis signed his extension or something.
Oh, like that. The agent.
Oh, I remember that.
And so people were like, "This could actually happen."
This could actually happen. Imagine, oh my God! Imagine Steph fans and LeBron fans rooting for the same team. Jesus, I'd lose brain cells just being near those comments. My goodness.
You couldn't click on it. Only let you play with one team because everyone's just going to play with that team. They don't even offer the other 29 teams.
Oh my God. Oh.
That's Steph's master plan. Just get bad the 1 year Bronny plays so he gets LeBron.
Mm-hmm. I am happy though I think it was DeJounte Murray and LaMelo Ball were both late add-ons into the All-Star game.
Did you hear the story for LaMelo?
No.
He was taking a nap, got woken up by the phone call, said, "Oh, I'm a starter. That's dope," and then hung up and went back to his nap.
That sounds like LaMelo. That really does.
That really
he's
does
the most
like
chill.
LaMelo.
I don't know who said it on this show, but somebody said LaMelo plays basketball like we all do in our head. He just actually can translate it. Like
it might have been me because I
think it was you.
Said that.
Because he just he just goes out there and man's just hooping. Like man's is just playing
smiling.
Ball.
Like he's not that annoying 16-year-old that everyone thought. He's like this really chill dude.
Yeah. Like dude's not playing in the NBA. He's playing like 5-on-5 pickup, just hooping out there. Like that's how he plays, and that's why I love watching him.
Borrego still benches him too in some games. Like you'll see his minutes like steady, normal, and then there's a game where he just doesn't come in for like 14 minutes, and you're like, Borrego's like he's making him better. Like whatever you want to say, he's holding him accountable.
Mm-hmm. Last thing for NBA, I want to ask, what are the Lakers doing, man? I need to hit up. I've told this many times. I always say it. I went to school with Rob Pelinka's nephew. So I'm going to have to hit him up and tell him to text up Uncle Rob and ask him what he's doing. Also, if you didn't know, I did not know. So how that happened was this kid in 6th grade told me his uncle was he was on the team with the Fab Five, and I didn't believe him. Yeah, Rob Pelinka was the sixth man for the Fab 5. I had no idea. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna hit up Ben and tell him to text Uncle Rob, ask him what's going on. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Russ is benched all like in crunch time
and making petty comments after. They're gonna implode. It's gonna be. They might not make the play-in. I said they were gonna lose in it. They just might not make it at this rate.
Did you see the video when Russ came up to Anthony Davis and LeBron after they lost? And he was basically just like, "If I was in there, man, I would have made a difference." Like, right when he put his hand on LeBron's shoulder, you just see LeBron go like just look at him, and it's just like it was like LeBron's about to kill this dude.
Could you imagine if they don't make the playoffs in the last game of the season? What would happen in that locker room? I think LeBron would genuinely like kick open the doors.
I don't think he talked to him. I think it's the opposite. I think he walks in, packs up nicely, and just leaves. Like no press conference. Like just packs up nicely. I'm gonna take my fine and just walks out of that locker room. Like none of y'all are being here next year. AD will be here. We're running it back with a whole new crew. Like nobody's the same.
I think it's a lot of overreaction on the Lakers. They're gonna be fine. They were never. It was never a good fit at any point in the season. So they're like not. I think what LeBron said was fair. Like, listen, we're not gonna be the Bucks this year, but I don't think they're that bad. Like they're pretty close to 500 right now.
They're 26-30. They're the 9th seed in the West. Also, when did the West turn mid? West is low key. Like
it was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, West is low key mid. Now that I'm looking at it, like the Timberwolves are the 7th seed right now.
Hey, they're battling,
and they're above 500. I will give them that.
They're battling.
They're gonna make that first round playoff series very interesting.
Maybe these teams aren't mid. Maybe the NBA is just truly super ultra competitive.
No, I like it when the league's like this. Yeah,
I think there's maybe only 4 teams in the league that you could say are just complete pushovers: Magic, Pistons, Thunder,
Pacers.
Rockets. Nah. And even then, you could throw Pistons if Cade turns on kill mode.
Pacers don't get blown out. Pacers never get blown out. Normally, they're normally just losing.
They lose by like 7.
Their point differential still makes them look to be a middle of the pack team. They just lose all of them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I actually love the Pacers roster coming into this season. So, for that to happen is kind of sad. But
they got really unlucky, but you can't get unlucky the entire season. So just get rid of them. I still like what they did either way.
But I agree with what Kai's saying. Really, there is only a few pushover teams. And from the way people were talking about the Lakers, after that Portland loss, people were putting them in that category. And it was like, dude, they're like 500.
They're mid.
I said they'd be playing at the beginning there. I said they'd be playing.
No, I just
didn't think it fit.
Yeah.
I like LeBron. I like AD. I just didn't think it fit.
There was about 5% of me that was like, would Rob Pelinka trade LeBron James at the trade deadline?
There were people actually throwing trades with LeBron in it. And they were like, John Morant for LeBron. They're like, Grizzlies say no. Yeah, I'd hope so.
It would. Yeah. Yeah. Any trade, I think LeBron would fire the GM before he gets traded.
What do you mean? Honest. He is the GM.
Lay GM.
Lay GM.
There's the GM and then there's lay GM. But anyway, anything else on NBA? Or are we good to move on?
This is slightly NBA related, and we may have mentioned it on previous podcasts. Did you guys see that Bronny James filed for some trademarks for NFTs or something?
Yeah, everybody's doing that now. I saw Zaire Wade is he has his own crypto, they're like cyborgs or something.
I just want to say one of the trademarks he filed was Bronald. So whenever I think
Ronald
of LeBron,
James.
I think of LeBron.
Ronald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald.
Goodness.
I hope for Bronny's sake that he makes it in the NBA because the amount of people that will clown him on Twitter is going to be nuts. I also just want to say, speaking of Bronny, a school called Glenbard West that was near my school where I grew up is #1 in Illinois, and they just played Sierra Canyon and lost by a buzzer beater.
Oh my gosh!
So they have
Amari
a kid going to Gonzaga.
Insane.
Yeah,
I saw that game. Yeah.
Yeah, Glenbard West is one of my friends went there. They didn't play in our conference. They were just right on the cutoff. But I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, that's all I had. Okay, anybody else on NBA?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, soccer. Chase, Alex, break down for us.
I've been recapping them. It's over. AFCON finished. Sadio Mane ended up winning it over Mo Salah, obviously. But and what was a pretty open game, honestly. Like the final score was 0-0. They did, but the game itself wasn't like a boring 0-0 game. It was an Africa 0-0 game, which is when they got into the box, that instead of the ball going towards the goal, like if this is shooting at the goal, this is where the ball actually went. Like it went straight up. They just can't.
It's above.
It's hilarious.
They can't shoot.
But another game solved by penalties. Actually, third place was solved by penalties. The Cameroon game was a 3-3 thriller.
Oh,
but the penalties for AFCON were fun. But Senegal actually did win it. So hey, they did their
You predicted them.
FM predicted them, and I went with it because I wanted to pick a team. Aside from that, international play is over. We're back to like actual club soccer now, and the Champions League round of 16 will kick off, I believe, next week.
Tuesday.
Okay, I wanted to make 15th. Sure. So I had a way of doing this. I want to know your opinion on it, Alex. So I'll ask you now. If I read off the list, you make a pick, I make a pick, and we'll talk about it that way. Rishi, Kai, you add in anything you want. I think that's a good
I'm
way
good
to
with
do
that.
it. All right.
Works for me.
So the 8 ties, we'll just start bottom to top here. I literally, there's no ranking here. It is from Google. It was the first top left to the bottom right. That's the way I did it. So the first one is the one that probably draws the most eyes. PSG versus Real Madrid is the first tie.
Real Madrid.
I'm the same. I think Real Madrid beat PSG here. I love Poch. Me and Alex both said super teams don't work like this in soccer. It takes a team buy-in, and I think Madrid they're still good. They might have been knocked out of Copa del Rey, but Real Madrid is still always a solid team, no matter what team they roll out.
I don't know where to feel them.
Imagine, honestly though, those new PSG unis are fire. I don't know if you guys saw those.
Yeah, I saw them.
They're very good.
I'm literally on a fence right now about this game. Because, like, I can see it going both ways.
Yes.
But in my opinion, I think for Kylian Mbappe's sake, that Madrid are going to have to win. Because if
he's going there either way.
He's going there either way, but how nice would it be if he boosted him to the Champions League, they get more money, and then all of a sudden now they can afford to pay his contract. So I got Real Madrid, and the fact that they're on hot form right now.
Minus losing Copa del Rey. That was the only thing going really
fine. They're fine. They'll be okay.
They look really good in the league.
They're miles ahead of everyone at the moment by like 10 points.
They were still only the first team to three-peat the Champions League, which is absurd.
I so wish I was into soccer at that time.
The crazy part was they could have won it like 5 years in a row because they beat Atletico Madrid and then lost to Juventus the year they just caught fire in 2015, I think it was. So like they could have easily won it 5 times in a row if Alvaro Morata didn't do the super sub cheese against them.
Alvaro Morata, love him.
But moving on from that, I think it's underrated. But Sporting
Man City
plays Man City.
Man City.
Sporting in the Champions League always plays upset. That's the only thing I have against it. I'm still picking City, but if Sporting ended up like coming up with like a 2-1 like aggregate here, I wouldn't be surprised.
I just can't look at them like that. Like they're just not like that for me.
Sporting just always like those Portuguese teams, man. When they play in Portugal, those crowds are rocking.
I gotta go with Man City based on the fact they're disciplinary. They have 16 yellow cards and 2 red cards, so I'm personally not gonna vote against the team that is more likely to blow themselves up in that game.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Really, what's gonna happen? I mean, you're not going to be able to beat them without tactically fouling. And even though the cards reset, you're still going to have to try and kill them to just slow the pace of the game down.
To put it this way, City aren't going to like playing Sporting over 2 games.
No, they're not going to like playing in Portugal, but they're going to love playing in England.
The other one, I'd say this is the only one I can only see going one way. This is the only tie in the knockouts that I can see going one way and no other. It is Salzburg versus Bayern Munich.
Salzburg, just kidding. Bayern.
Poor Salzburg in the draw the first time I think it was PSG in the mess up draw. And then they did the true draw and drew Bayern Munich. So poor them.
Salzburg can take it. I think they got a shot.
Can you tell me one player on Salzburg's team?
Some guy with the.
I can tell you. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, give me time to Google. Go ahead.
A guy.
Brendan Aronson, if you're thinking of the U.S. player.
Thank you.
Oh,
that's exactly who I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking too.
I thought he was Aaron Brendanson. That's what it was.
Oh, there's some guy with like a Berg at the end of his name. I don't know. They're German.
Last year, I would have put my money on Salzburg winning with Patson Daka, but they do not have Patson Daka.
They're in Holland. That was crazy.
They're not going to be able to stretch that defense, so Bayern's going to win. But I think Salzburg gives them a run for the money in the first leg and then gets curb stomped in the second leg.
That's fair. I think Bayern roll them like a 9-0 aggregate or something crazy.
Tottenham.
Hey, look, it's not in London. All right, we don't have to go there. Anyway, Inter versus Liverpool is the next one, which should be really good.
Liverpool.
Not even gonna talk about Inter Milan.
From the Liverpool fan taking Liverpool, I'm gonna say them too. But Inter they should be good games.
Yeah. You've won all 6 of your matches in the Champions League. I mean,
Mickey Mouse Group.
Mickey Mouse.
But still.
Mouse Group. Inter's a really tough team. That any team in Italy is going to make them play their pace.
Also, Inter is not going to be able to handle the rotation that Liverpool now has at the forward position.
They do have quite a few. I can't lie.
Yeah, they can unload on you, and they can bring different looks each game. So I think that's where they're going to win. And Inter's defense is not fantastic to me.
You still have to go up against Milan Skriniar, and I'm blanking on the other center back.
Yeah, he's Dutch. I know who you're thinking. De Vrij.
Thank you. Like that, it's still a solid defense, and they
just don't hold enough. They just don't hold enough possession. I mean, like they only hold 51.67% of their possession. So I mean, it's just not where I think I'd want them to be, and they commit a lot of fouls.
That's just Italian football.
They commit 67, but you know that Mo Salah, if you get anywhere near the box, he is diving for a penalty. Diving.
The next one, which sounds like should be a blowout, but it really won't. Chelsea versus Lille.
Isn't Lille pretty good?
Lille just won the French league last year.
Yeah.
They also have Jonathan David, and they have Canadian striker.
Timothy Way.
They do have Weah.
Yeah.
They have Toucham. No, they don't have Toucham money. I was gonna say
they have just a solid team, and they're still competitive in Lego. Is how you say it, I believe. Lego. They're still up there. They're having kind of a down year. They may be sitting 11th in the table, but I'd still say they're good. They don't have the depth to compete in both. So they're going to have to decide which one are we going for.
Okay.
They have Yilmaz to come off the bench. He's always good for one random goal. Bamba.
Mo?
They have a solid team. I just can't look at it and say they're going to win.
I can see them pulling off an upset because Chelsea's been super hit and miss, but
I can see them showing up in the first game or showing up in the second leg, but it's tough to score at the Stamford Bridge. It's just tough,
especially with how defensive Chelsea are
and how good Edouard Mendy has been this year.
Another good one should be Villarreal versus Juventus. But
Juventus are going to stomp them into the grave. I'm just saying it.
Looking at it before the recent performances of Juventus, who every signing they had in the January already scored for them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They look so good.
They got Vlahovic, and he is torn apart Serie A for Juventus in that game they played.
Yeah.
With him and Dybala fit so well.
Him and Zakaria behind them too, and Locatelli playing as those like double pivots is you're just not going to be able to get anywhere if you're Villarreal strikers, and they really only have Gerard Moreno. So, you have to play the Italian class at the back line of Bonucci and Chiellini, who are like the greatest, like aging like fine wine at the moment.
That's fair. I would pick Juventus, but Villarreal, I mean, you made it to the knockouts. They had a decently tough group. Like they'll be fine. I think they'll be able to compete, but I think Juventus win. Yeah. Next is this like second marquee one. It's Atletico Madrid versus Man United.
Oh God, this is such a dumpster fire of all dumpster fires right now in their form. They have both played like crap this year.
Man U.
I'm picking Man U for one reason. Ronaldo, whatever it is, when he's in Madrid, and especially against Atletico Madrid, he's gonna find form. It doesn't matter who he has on his team. He's scoring 2 goals in Madrid no matter what, I think that's the big thing.
I'm going with Atletico Madrid. I just don't think you can beat bully ball. Like, you just can't beat getting absolutely destroyed every time you try to go anywhere on the field in what Diego Simeone's team does, and how the fact that Diego Simeone looks like he's going to rip someone's head off if you don't do the right thing.
And he also crotch chopped the crowds and said he had big beeps because like he did it at him and in Italy where they breathe soccer. The last one, it's probably the least namesake one, but Kai, I know who you'll be cheering for.
Yeah,
it's Benfica versus Ajax.
Ajax, baby. You know I love me some Dutch football.
But that one's gonna be like that game where you turn it on and you're just like, oh yeah, this is happening. But there's gonna be one banger goal out of this. They're
just gonna duke it out against each other. To be honest, when I look at it, they're just gonna go at each other every time they play.
Both these teams score bangers only. So I'm expecting goal of the tournament to come from this, because going up against each other, it's gotta happen.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the defense that is currently Benfica's of Grimaldo, Vertonghen, Otamendi, and Andre Almeida, because it's 34. Yeah, Andre Almeida is 34.
They're not very fast.
They're just so aging.
David Neres and Antony on the wings for Ajax should be very fun against
David Neres is not on Ajax anymore, Chase.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. Antony took over for him. But
Antony is good. Anthony's going to bring
Antony's speed alone is going to be scary.
But Romeko Passaver has played in almost all of their Champions League games. Andre Onana is not playing for some reason.
Why did Neres go to the Ukraine?
They paid a bag for him. That's why.
They paid a bag, and Ajax knows they can get someone else for that bag that will be just as good.
They also probably have 7 youth guys that can go.
Yeah, Ajax is going to win. Now I'm looking at their front 3. They're going to start
Berghuis, though. I feel dumb.
Haller and Antony, and then Dusan Tadic and Danilo Pereira off the bench are just going to kill you. You're just not going to be able to do anything. Yeah, I got Ajax. Can't beat that Dutch style of football.
That's all I had for soccer, unless you have anything. Man City look like they're running away with the league. That's it.
Yeah, the league's gone at this point. But Chelsea can't hold themselves together for 5 minutes.
I think City are on a 15-game win streak, not unbeaten, win streak. They are running.
They're just red. Right, they're red hot, and it's so hard to break them down.
They had a draw.
Did they? Okay. They had a heat map come out of Premier League for the 21 22 seasons
where
so
they
far.
where they don't hold possession of the ball, and literally City's only two were on the edge of their box. Every other part of the field was red.
It was their corner
flags,
wasn't it? It was
their own corner flags.
Yeah. They don't hold it by their corner flags, and they don't hold it in the opponent's penalty box. But every other part of the map, they're red. And then for Burnley, they didn't even own their whole their own penalty box. Like they own the right side, and the other teams like own part of their penalty box. That's how counterattacking they are. They had their corner flag, not even their full penalty box, and like the opponent's corner flag. That was their only like map that they show. It looked real rough.
I need to look at the Premier League table. I haven't taken a peek at it. Whoa, geez, 9 points. That's not the mountain I want to climb.
So are we done? Are we done with the soccer segment? We move on to hot takes?
Yes, you guys don't have much to throw, but I was trying to kind of recap some.
All right.
Before you start those, have you guys, this would be real quick if you haven't, you guys talked about how Woj, Shams, and Schefter are all free agents this summer?
The super team needs to be created. So Shams and Woj, all the sources.
Quick hot takes on that? We're gonna get quick.
Well. You think they leave their respective platforms and then make their own?
I don't think.
Why wouldn't they?
I think they could make more money. They could own it.
I think so, but I don't like. I feel like Shams is a loyal guy. That man's been grinding since he was in high school, like giving out 10 league or 10-day contract news.
Well, that's why I don't think it's unloyal for him to make his own thing.
No, Shams is gonna get the bag. He's gonna get the
no
bag.
matter where. If he stays,
I don't want him to go to ESPN. I don't want him to go to ESPN.
I think my prediction is so ESPN. I feel like has been bringing on new talent and cutting some of like Ariel Helwani, like the basically number one ESPN MMA guy, left because they were cutting his pay. It's like, dude, this is the number one guy in MMA media and it's growing right now. Like, why are you cutting his pay? And so, like, I think they're trying to cut costs so that they can retain these guys and maybe even try and throw a pitch at Shams. And I think it's going to backfire on him, because something that was weird to me was like the whole Schefter, like, reporting Tom Brady's retirement early and then like them rolling with it, even though Tom Brady was saying, I'm not retiring. And
I like Schefter, but he kind of has a conflict of interest with what he does. He's really ingrained with the NFL, and people suspect that the NFL gives him leaks sometimes in exchange for making sure that he makes the NFL look good and not leak stuff that he shouldn't leak.
I mean, when he's not the leak, it's like, okay, I see what you're like reporting, but I'm waiting till the Schefter like stamp of approval. Like he just has that respect for NFL.
And I feel like that's maybe where he's getting away with it. Like that's why the ESPN's kept him on so long, and the NFL like actually cares about him, and they throw him a bone every once in a while, because sometimes some of these things may be true, but Schefter will back up and say, I'm not going to report about this so that I don't make enemies in this world. So
is there even like a second option to Schefter, really? I feel like Woj and Shams has caught up to Woj insanely quick.
There was a stat. It was like trades broken at the trade deadline. Shams beat Woj this year and reported trades.
Shams is a demon, and he beats him for all the draft stuff too.
They have to have like 7 phones, right?
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah.
Well, I remember freshman year, SMC sent us the NFL conference, and Schefter came and talked to us, and it was him and Ian Rappaport. That's probably the other guy.
Yeah.
But him and Ian Rappaport were talking, and he'd be talking to us, and he was like da da da. He'd be like da da, and he'd just keep looking at his phone and texting, and he had to stop talking for 1 second so he could send a tweet. I think what happened, the Remy Tunsil thing happened during when he was there. And he was like, I've got to break this. I'll be I gotta leave. It was something like that. It was something like a event where he's like, I gotta go break this. And then like 2 minutes later, like he breaks it. It was so cool. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's something you're not gonna forget. That's really cool.
Yeah. But
no, I would love to see the super team of Woj, Schefter, and Shams like creating their own.
Create their own, yes. I don't want to see them on ESPN. ESPN is the only person that could afford that.
No, I heard the New York Times is gonna pursue them. They just bought the Athletic.
We got to pay for leaks now.
Yeah, I know. But no, I think one of them is gonna leave for sure.
Well, who's your guess? If you guys have a guess.
Schefter.
Woj.
I think Schefter leaves.
I think Schefter's too ingrained.
Or Shams. I mean, Shams. I don't think Shams will go to ESPN, but I think either Schefter leaves ESPN or just Shams gets like a huge bag somewhere.
I feel like Woj will go.
I'm doing it off the fact that you said they're getting rid of some of their older ones. Obviously, they don't want to lose that NBA source, but if Woj leaves, I'm assuming Woj. I can't see Woj anywhere.
You know what?
Other than ESPN.
I don't see them giving Woj more money because remember they suspended him earlier this year or earlier last year for that email he sent. Remember he sent that email?
Yeah.
And I don't see them maybe I don't see them raising his pay. That might make him leave.
All right, my hot take is they're all going somewhere different.
Oh,
I would love to see the super team of a Woj Shams like source, because ESPN then would have no source. They'd be like per Woj or per Shams. Like they would get no more league source because they own the sources. Like there's no way.
Yeah. I'm not an ESPN hater by any means. I just feel like I want things to spread out more.
Yeah.
But if they all come together, I want it to be on their own platform. That's the only thing I'm saying.
I'd like to say,
what's the point of having? Go ahead.
I'd like to say personally, because it's not between these three, but like the only thing that I like, if you're looking at articles, you go ESPN normally, but for soccer, Athletic runs it.
Yeah,
like,
does Athletic make you
so
pay?
Good.
They do.
Yeah,
but they just have coverage.
They're so in depth. They're so good.
No, they're an awesome platform.
Like if you've never heard of TIFO and you want to get into soccer, TIFO football on YouTube is amazing. They make it so like dumbed down and
they break it down so well. And like even for like me who I like take in a lot of soccer content, just like the depth that they get on some of these analysis is just fantastic. Like my personal favorite is Sensible Transfers, where they go in and they pick for teams the best fit players without like any like actual like conjecture. Like they just basically who would fit the system, how old are they, how expensive are they, and would they mold with the players they currently have.
Just something like that between the top reporters, like would be so cool. Like they start their own. They're like, we're going to put out our own content. Like,
but what would be the point of having Woj and Shams on the same platform?
You have every league source.
Every league.
Like any league that Shams doesn't have, Woj has.
Could you compare this to why am I blanking on his name? The guy that found the Ringer after he left ESPN.
Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons. That's basically what he did.
It's a little different.
Well, he was more of like a journalist.
He got fired.
He's a media guy. He
got fired.
So he went to war with ESPN because he had Grantland, which was like their basketball specific content creation. And he helped like found 30 for 30 and all of that stuff. And they had creative differences. All that means is he thought ESPN was being dumb, which in hindsight, he was right with like what it was. Yeah. You can look it all up. Like it's very well documented. ESPN suspended him, said, "Are you done?" He goes, "No, I believe I'm right. I'm not going to like back down on this," and got fired from ESPN.
Then he made his own platform.
And then got a bag from Spotify.
That's crazy. What if those guys go to the Ringer?
They're more content. They're not like news breaking. They're strictly content creation.
I don't think the Ringer has money like ESPN and
they don't. I mean, they only got bought out for a couple hundred. Like he got a bag, but I mean, they also got into it. Yeah, it's not like ESPN level or Athletic level.
Sure. I don't know. We got a little off topic, but that was super interesting. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. But going into our hot takes last week, hit mine. I know some biggies.
Oh, you actually looked it up. I'm proud of you.
I didn't think you were going to know. Yes, I actually did look up the score. I did. Pacers did trade more than 2 players. So
I was saying more of like LeVert, Sabonis, or Turner, which they did. So I gave it to myself.
Yep. IU did not beat Illinois, nor did BYU beat Gonzaga. They were steamy though. I like those steamy takes.
They're aggressive.
Yeah. Austin's is for next week.
Yep.
Yeah. This week I'm gonna go soccer for my hot takes, honestly. Because I want to do you think it's gonna be too much work to keep a Premier League knockouts record pick'em thing?
No,
are you just saying you're picking teams?
Like how we did with NFL playoffs.
There's just a lot each week. I think that's the thing.
Oh, like Champions League.
Like
Champions
League. Yeah.
I'm fine with doing that.
But yeah, we're down to 16. It's easy now. I was gonna say if you want to do the Premier League, that's gonna be hard. I
was just saying Champions League.
I was gonna say Prem would be like weird. You'd have to.
Did I say Prem?
You did.
Oh, I meant Champions League. My bad.
The Prem's always tough.
I mean, I can. We don't have to do it like here. We can just like say it in our chat or like tell me, and I can record it. Yeah, we can do it that way.
But I think
just because we're running a little long here, so
we are running a little long. Okay, I'm gonna do that next. I'll write them down and then we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna do a college basketball. Somebody else go. It's another college basketball one.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Actually, I do because I just saw this on Instagram. Kyler Murray has officially replaced the Arizona Cardinals out of his
Chase
Instagram.
Did send me that. Yeah, he did send me
that. And
the
Arizona Cardinals have replaced basically him out of their Instagram. So
really. I did not know that part.
But where does he go? I checked Twitter.
We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, no, I know.
What's the hot take? What's the hot take?
I just think either they're gonna build around him. Finally, they're gonna finally just unload and just get all the pieces he needs, or he moves on. I don't know where though. But that would kind of help the quarterback carousel because that could shift Rodgers down into Arizona.
Tyler to Green Bay.
I don't think he's.
Oh no, he's not.
He'd take one hit in the negative degree and be out for the game.
No, that's not.
You got to look. I know it's the thing, but you got to be built different to play in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I got mine.
I was personally gonna say I'm going to be correct on over at least half of the first ties for the Champions League for who I said would win.
Okay.
So they'll be leading on aggregate after the first leg.
We're gonna be.
I'm also on a hot streak for hot takes. I'd like to say I've got my last 2 or 3 in a row correct.
Oh. I was gonna say we're praying up to St. Mary's. St. Mary's beating Gonzaga tomorrow. Number 22, St. Mary's.
Oh my gosh!
That's a take.
Well, my thing was
BYU. That was my BYU versus.
St. Mary's is better. St. Mary's better than BYU.
Well, my thing, and my thing is, I was gonna say the new number 1's gonna lose next week. So I was like, it's Gonzaga, and they're playing number 22, St. Mary's. That's my hot take. We'll see another number 1.
Before I give my hot take, I want to give a quick plug to the event snowboard cross in the Winter Olympics. It's a bunch of dudes and girls racing snowboards on an F1 type of track. It's
nice.
Oh my god, I saw that. It's crazy.
It's awesome. Okay, sorry. Hot take. Am I allowed to just make it that the Super Bowl is going to be a great game?
No.
Oh my god, no! You gotta pick. Your hot take can be a team that you pick. That's fine.
No, I want it to be. It's a great game. Everyone come back next week. And I was like, Kai, how was your Super Bowl Sunday? And if you say great, then I got it right.
Can you at least say it's going to be a top 3 Super Bowl of all time, or
No, it's not going to be a top 3 Super Bowl of all time.
Okay, how about this? Can you try to guess Stafford's line? Can you try to guess Matt? Because then you're cheering for your boy, and you're actually giving a good.
What do you mean his line? What's his line?
his stats, his basic stats,
bro? His stats are going to be great.
Oh my god, Rishi gets an L.
If you want me to make a prediction about the sporting event that everyone's talking about that's coming up, then I'll give you a prediction on this darts matchup that's coming up on February 17th.
Good enough.
2 Scottish guys going up against each other, Gary Anderson and Peter Wright.
Okay.
And Gary's going to get the upset.
All right. Get Gary Anderson.
Straight sets. I don't know if darts is played in sets, but he's going to win in straight sets.
I feel like this is a Joe. I feel like this is a slight way to say Joe Burrow's going to win the Super Bowl here.
I hope everyone just has a great day then, and we'll end it there.
Yeah.
That's
that was a real darts match, by the way. That's a real darts match.
All right, everybody give their hot take.
Yep. We're
Gary.
here.
All right, everybody. It's a long show, but it was a fun one. We'll see everybody next week. Our people from Russia didn't show up, so
We actually have comments though. We appreciate
did.
everyone.
They usually watch the
probably-
replay because of the time difference.
Yeah, I don't know. We mentioned like
Big
Ukraine.
Russian following.
We mentioned
Big
Ukraine,
Russian
and the
following.
bots just were like, "Oh, we're gonna stay away from that." So
Okay.
but everybody, see you